Well, hi, everybody. John Elzinga. Welcome back to It's a Great Day to Serve the Lord. And before I get started, right up front, I want to grab your attention because I'm going to be telling some stories and going down a direction, and you're going to think you know where I'm going to go with this. And you probably don't. You're probably going to misconstrue where I'm headed, so I'm going to ask you to please hang on with me to the end of this. The topic for this devotional is silent agony. Silent agony. Let me start with this. I have a joint problem in my knees. It's more than joints, but in both of my knees I have some minor torn meniscus. And I also have kind of growing, advancing arthritis. Part of old age, I know, but it is what it is. Now, every 3 months, I go into my orthopedic doctor, and he gives me a cortisone injection, which relieves my pain for about 2 months. But Medicare will only pay for every 3 months, so I only get to go every 3 months. That means 1 month out of 3, I walk with pain. You can't see it, you don't notice it, you have no idea that I'm feeling this, but I start walking about a block and I am in excruciating pain. Sometimes more than others, one knee more than the other, but it is this silent agony that I feel, this pain that I absorb, it's excruciating, but no one would know I have it unless I told them. In the same way, there are a ton of people walking around with silent agony. Many of them, most of them, are really not even sure the source of pain, or the other side of the coin would be they're in denial about it. Many years ago, Henry David Thoreau wrote, quote, "The mass of men," that's a generic men or women, the mass of people, he could have said, "lead lives of quiet desperation." They feel a pain, they have an agony, they have an issue that they don't talk about, they stuff it inside. Typically it could be maybe depression or some kind of an emotional thing like that. But it comes in the form of feeling that something is missing. I've seen it so many ways, so many times, over so many years. And I know you've seen it too. Let me paint a picture for you. You go and sit down at a restaurant or a coffee shop or whatever that might be and look at people. Typically, you'll see a man sitting there by himself, staring out into midair. He's carrying a silent agony. You see a husband and wife sitting across from each other, facing each other, but there's no conversation going on. They're barely even looking at each other. They've lost the will to communicate in their marriage. But there's something else missing there. There's a single person that just loves their work, has a lot of friends, but still something is missing. There is the man or the woman who has achieved great success. They're always busy, they're always going, and when you talk to them, you realize that there's something missing there. And what you see, if you open your eyes to it, is this silent agony that people carry with them, that they don't talk about it. Maybe they're not sure what it is or what pieces of the puzzle in their life is missing. But it's agonizing, and it's quiet, and it's painful. Now, I said at the beginning, you probably think, given this is a Christian devotional, you know where I'm headed with this. You probably think I'm talking about non-believers and their need for God and the void in their life. And that is a surety. There is a lot of non-believers who need God, who need Jesus Christ, and have this big void in their life. But that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about many Christians. Maybe you. Many Christians that I've seen, I've known, and I know currently, who walk around with a lot of pain, a silent agony, you know that there's still something missing in their life. They feel it. They don't know what it's all about, but they feel it. They don't talk about it. They don't communicate it because, well, they're Christians. They've accepted Christ. And they think that they should feel more complete, more happy, more settled, more okay. But there's something missing. There's this silent agony that they feel. Once again, we can turn to the Bible to be clear, to fill in the blank, to fill in that void box that we're wondering, what is this all about, this missing piece. Ephesians 4:15 and 16 says this, "Rather, speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in every way into Him who is the head, into Christ, from whom the whole body," and when it says the whole body, it's talking about all the believers collectively, "the whole body, joined together by every joint with which it is equipped, when each part is working properly, makes the body grow so that it builds itself up in love." There is this connection, the joint, the ligaments, the cartilage that hold that joint, that knee, that elbow, that wrist, that hold it together. There is a fundamental need that we as Christians have, that without it, without that connection, without that injection, those cortisone shots, so to speak, we feel silent pain and silent agony. But it's worse. Without our connection to the body of believers, they are missing out as well. That is to say, there is something that you offer to the body of believers that they need, and with your absence, they don't get it. And they feel this silent pain, the silent agony. Hebrews 10:24 and 25 says, "And let us consider how we may spur up one another toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." This, of course, is talking about a regular getting together. It is talking about the church gathering on Sunday or maybe Saturday night even. The church collectively, people, body of believers in that locale, in that place, in that church, getting together on a regular basis and not forsaking that, not stopping that. So it's talking about regular attendance. But that's the baseline. That's the starting point for a healthy Christian life. And then there is this need, though, this additional need, this additional gap that we have. If we don't close it, we're going to feel pain and agony. And that is the need to connect with other believers in a meaningful way. 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, "Therefore encourage one another and build up one another, just as you are doing." Did you know there are over 50 one another's in the New Testament? 50! And you can't do a one another unless you are connected to the others. You might not know what you need right now. You might not even think you need something right now, or like you're missing something right now. You might have that silent pain and agony. You don't know what it is. You do know there is something missing. And what's missing is being connected to other believers in such a way that they can help you grow as a believer. And by the way, you help them grow as well. Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." You can't sharpen another if you're not with the other. If you're not with other believers in a regular way over a course of time, you can't sharpen each other if you're not there. Let me reflect back. You're a Christian. At some point you accepted Christ. You probably were excited. You were probably on fire. You were probably learning and growing. But then life got in the way. You got busy. You began to work a lot. Your family's demanding a lot of your time. You're tired. And then I see you, dear Christian, in that restaurant, in that coffee shop, staring out into space. And I know they're carrying a silent load, a silent burden, a silent pain, a silent agony, because something's missing in their life. I see your quiet wondering, even as a believer, I see that quiet wondering that you might have. Is this all there is? Is this it? Maybe you feel guilty for feeling this way because, after all, you're a Christian. Or maybe you do know. You've been fighting in these conversations, either in your head or with other people, these thoughts about attending church more. You should do that. You've been fighting getting connected with a body of believers at a small group or in a Bible study. And you're probably defensive about it, maybe even argumentative about it, probably prideful. You don't want to admit what you already know. My friend, you have been deliberately sabotaging your Christian life by not going to church, and even more by not getting involved in a small group or a Bible study. And my friend, if this is you, come back. Come back. We want you back. God wants you back. Romans 12:4-5 says, "For as in one body we have many members, and the members do not all have the same function. So we, though many, are one body in Christ, and individually members of one another." We are members of one another. You are a member of others. You belong to others. Somewhere within your local community, within your local church area, there are others that you belong to. You're part of their family. We are family. We want you back. We need you back. And we welcome you back with open arms. Now, you're not the prodigal. You've accepted Christ. You are a Christian. Matthew 18:20 says, "For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am in the midst of them." There I am with them. The thought that I want to leave you there is that they are gathered together in the name of Christ. Let this message penetrate your heart. If you feel something is missing, if you feel this silent pain, this silent agony, and you've not been going regularly to a local church, go. Go next Sunday. Don't put it off. And if you're not presently in a small group or a Bible study, find one. Please find one at your local church. Get connected to the family of Christ that you belong to. And give yourself that spiritual cortisone shot that you will need, and you will feel and function much better in a much healthier way. And a lot of that agony, a lot of that pain will be gone. And that's your devotions for this week. By the way, if you could please share this, I would really appreciate it. I know there's somebody that you know that needs to hear this. If you would like it, that would be helpful for others to see it. If you would subscribe to this channel, I'd really appreciate it. And if you have contributed to this channel, thank you so much. If you'd like to contribute, just send me an email at john@johnelzinga.com. I'll send you back a link in which you can make a donation. Well, God bless you. Go to church next Sunday. Get connected to a Bible study or a small group. And know this, it's a great day to serve the Lord.